wake up and don't hate it. I guess I found some peace. Through the day to the evening, without shouting and screaming. Something new to me. Alone without being lonely. Getting back to the old me. It's kinda nice.
Hello, hello. It is very overcast today and it's actually like rainy and chilly. So I'm just in the house getting some things done. And I was trying to figure out like what exactly I wanted to tackle. There's been something that I've been putting off and it's behind this door. I'm gonna welcome you into my Monica's closet. It's the hall closet under the stairs. All kinds of things in here. Nothing is organized. Nothing is anything. You can't even like walk in here really. It's just chaos. So I am going to be going through all of that because this last week I went through and decluttered like my nightstand, my dresser, my office, this area right here. Oh, and like the bathroom. Anyway, I just decluttered around the house and it felt so good. And like opening my drawers, going in my office, all the things, it has felt so nice and so peaceful. So we're gonna do that in here. We're gonna declutter today. But also I shared last week that my landlord allowed me to do some little DIY upgrades to the house. And I'm gonna be starting in this area. If you've been here for a long time, you know that I've used Beyond Paint and I've loved it so much, but my one complaint about it is that there's not a whole lot of colors. And so I did find a different paint. My friend used it. We were looking at it and she ordered it and used it and she's loved it. But before I do this, use this paint on this cabinet, I want to test it out myself and just make sure that it's gonna be something that holds up just as well as Beyond Paint. So I'm going to be decluttering and getting this area situated. But I'm also going to be DIYing a little furniture piece that I got from the thrift store for like 10 bucks. It's super nice, but it needs a little love. And we're gonna test out that paint so that in the coming weeks, we can start on some house projects and some DIY projects around the house. So I'll show you guys what we're dealing with in here, but it will not look like this soon. And if you think this is all of it, it's not. It goes around the corner and then around there and the entire thing. I have not touched this since moving in, so it'll be a good one.
Go ahead and shine, darling, go ahead and shine. Love it how you love me electric, like you do. Love it how you love me electric, always you. Love it how you love me electric, electric. I love it how you love me a lot, love me a lot, love me electric.
All right, you know the drill. The first thing to do is to take everything out of the area, or at least that's how I do it. I just feel like I need to have a blank space to start, and then I can kind of like only bring back in what I want to bring back in, and that way I don't overlook anything. So that's what works for me, but decluttering, there can be a rhyme or reason to it, but also it's just kind of whatever works for you. So don't feel like however I declutter is how you need to declutter. Just get in there and do it yourself. If you feel so overwhelmed when you take everything out and you have it all in one big space, then don't do that. That's just what works for me. But that's what I'm doing, taking everything out and making a big mess out here so that the inside of the closet can be kind of organized, put together. And then I'm also not taking every single thing out though, because I didn't take out like a little bit of food storage that I had in here and then like the file system, just because I know that that's going to stay in there and it's fine. So no reason to take it out, just to put it right back in. But everything else, that got taken out.
In my mind, oh, and I'm hot over the moon. You know that you got me good. I'm not even mad. I need you more than I should. I feel like I'm dying. Oh, and I found heaven in your eyes. Tell me it's all mine. Holding on too tight. You're like a neon sign in a starless night, showing up so bright. Can't get over how you talk to me.
So we have everything cleared out in here. I didn't clear this out because this is like, I will go through them because we don't need this many, but these are all the trampoline park socks, you know, because every single trampoline park needs their own sock. This is just like one of those, you put it in the microwave and like heat, like a heating pad thing. So I just keep this here. And then I have my wrapping paper section. So we'll go through this too, but I just figured it's easier to just leave it up on the hook. But everything else is cleared out aside from like I have the food storage in there. I just tucked it back away. And the filing cabinet, which also is going to stay there. So I figured I didn't need to bring it out. Everything else has been vacuumed out and cleaned out. I want to maximize the storage in this closet. One thing I've talked about is decluttering is incredible, but it also is good to have organization. I feel like you don't want to organize before you declutter, but if you can do it at the same time, that's great. So I was like, you know what? This would be so perfect for a cube organizer. If you've been here for years, you know that I like loved cube organizers for the longest time, and I still do, but I kind of stepped away from them a little bit. Some areas just still like they're the best thing for it. So I think I'm gonna go grab a cube organizer. I'll probably start with the thrift store first just to see if they happen to have anything, but if not, I'll see if I can find a cube organizer, build it and put it up so that we can have some nice organization in here. Hopefully that will be able to help kind of alleviate the floor and keep the floor nice and clean so that you can actually walk in here and not have to tiptoe through the jungle of all the things on the floor. So let's run to the store, and then we're gonna start going through everything and decluttering and reorganizing it in here, and then we'll check out that paint because I'm really excited. I wanna see, because this other paint that I found has so many colors and they're so pretty, and I just think it's gonna be perfect for this. And if we do a good job on this, I'm gonna eventually ask if I can redo the kitchen, and I think that's gonna be really cool. So we gotta make it work.
You got me good. I'm not even mad, I need you more than I should. I feel like I'm dying. Oh, and I found heaven in your eyes. Tell me it's all mine, holding on too tight. You're like a neon sign in a starless night, showing up so bright. Can't get over how you talk to me, like I'm all you ever gone.
Okay, I actually haven't got one of these in so long, but this is so nice. It's not like the glossy white. It looks more like a paint, like a white paint wash. Very pretty.
Like you do, love it how you love me electric, always you. Love it how you love me electric, electric. I love it how you love me love me electric. Found heaven in your eyes. You're like a neon sign, showing us so bright. Can't get over how you talk to me, like I'm all you ever gonna need. Seeing colors that I've never seen. I love it how you love me electric, like you do. Love it how you love me electric, always you. Love it how you love me electric, electric. I love it how you love me electric. Electric, I love it how you love me electric.
Okay, these little wicker baskets are actually ones that I got years ago, and I've just kind of had them hanging out, and they worked perfectly in here. So I will see if I can link them. I'm not entirely sure, but I do know I got them from Walmart online a long time ago, and they're very sturdy, and I'm a fan for sure. Okay, so we are making some good progress on the closet, which is so amazing that it's actually a really nice closet. It's a little bit of like a tricky space just because it does go under the stairs, but it's so nice to have that space. But it has been an annoyance for like months that I just have not been able to tackle. But before we get into the rest of it, before we continue on with everything, I did want to say a huge thank you to Bombas for teaming up with me in today's video. I am so excited for this collaboration because my mom came down, I think it was like the end of last year, and she brought some Bombas socks, and I had always known about them and I'd always been curious about them, but I just had never jumped. I had never taken the leap and got some. And so I was like, oh, you got those? Tell me about them. Do you like them? Are they good? And she was like, yes, they are so good. Being a mom, she gave me one to try, and then I loved it. And so she let me keep them. So I got some secondhand Bombas socks from her, and they are like hands down my favorite. Every time I would go in my drawer, if I had a Bombas sock in there, it was like, oh yes, always the first one that I grabbed, and bummed if I didn't have one if it was dirty. So I got to order some new ones, and look how pretty. You can also get the white ones, but I got these pretty colors. I'm in my colorful, happy, feminine, I don't know, whatever era, and I'm like here for it. I'm loving it. If you have not tried Bombas, they are not like other socks. They are so good. They have several different things that really kind of stand out about them. This is the Bombas sock, and one thing that you'll notice about them is they all have this honeycomb right in the middle. This gives you really, really nice arch arch support along with keeping it nice and snug on your feet, and they don't stretch out over time. The ones that I've had, I've been using them for months and months and months, and they feel just as good now as they did when I first got them. They also have just this little cushion up top, and it helps to kind of keep the sock up. They also have a seamless toe so you don't get that rubbing or anything. And then another thing is they actually have cushion right along the bottom, but not on the top. So they're not gonna be hot and like have all that extra fabric, but they're gonna be like ultra comfortable. And like, is that not the cutest sock? Now, of course, Bombas is very much known for their socks, but they also have t-shirts and underwear, and they have slippers. You guys know I had to try these out, and they are so comfy. They feel very, very high quality. So if you are in the market for some new socks, seriously check out Bombas. They are so, so good. They have tons and tons of options on their site, so you can get the color and the fit and all the things that work for you. But also for new customers, you will get 20% off your entire first order. So I'm gonna have a QR code right here on the screen that you can check out. You can also click on the link down below in the description box, and I also put it in the pinned comment so you can check it out there. But these are just, they're so good. I wish you guys could feel them. I would send a pair to all of you guys. They are really amazing. Anyway, definitely check them out, and thank you again so much to Bombas for teaming up with me in today's video. Let's get back to it.
Ready, putting on my suede shoes some days. You just gotta let loose, hit every street like a dance floor. Baby, it's been my favorite song, get it thumping. It's been way too long since I hit the stars boulevard for the evening. Take a little step, get the groove aligned. Slide into the motion, slip into the time. It's so easy once you get it going, going. Everything is dreamy when it feels so fine. Feels so fine. Feels so fine. Everything is dreamy when it feels so fine. Memories of when we used to spend our time so carefree. The world was so alive. Let's just pretend that it's alright. Take a little step, get the groove aligned. Slide into the motion, slip into the time. It's so easy once you get it going, going. Everything is dreamy when it feels so fine.
Some of these things that I was going through were just really needing to be reorganized, but also there was some things that were just sitting there, wasting away, sitting in my house. I was not using them. I didn't need them anymore. I didn't want them. It was amazing just to see these things in this closet that were just taking up space, taking up clutter, that really was of no benefit to anyone in our home anymore. And so again, I always share this whenever I declutter, but take the time to do this. It really makes the biggest difference. And you'll feel so much better because all of a sudden, all the things that you have in your home are things that you actually utilize, things that you actually want, things that are actually benefiting your life, and none of the rest. It's so good. Decluttering is like one of my favorite things, and I'm so thankful to be in a better space where I'm able to kind of focus on these future forward things instead of just kind of like, I don't know, I guess I've been in a place for a long time where I've just been surviving, and now I'm getting back into the area where I'm actually focusing on my future, and this is just part of that, and so I'm so thankful for that. But I hope you feel motivated after this video, and if you don't, go back and watch last week's video. It's a good one and very motivating. All right, it is a new day. So I found this for $8 from a thrift store, and I've been kind of looking for something to go actually where these boxes are, which will go in my office probably this next week. Hopefully this next week, that's the plan. And so yeah, just kind of like a little console table. It'll give a little storage right here, and I can put like a picture or mirror or something on that. But yeah, $8, boom. That's why you gotta thrift. Now this actually matches my current kitchen perfectly, but we are going to paint it, and let me show you the paint. The paint is Heirloom Traditions all-in-one paint. I've never used it before, but it's been in my save for later on Amazon for honestly probably like a year and a half or 2 years. But this is what I like about this. These are all your colors. I've said forever that my one issue with Beyond Paint is that they only have like a select number of colors. Like they probably only have this many colors. And so they'll have like one off-white and one brown and one gray and one white and one blue, and you know what I mean? And so you can mix your own colors, which is awesome, but this just gives you, I don't know, these are really pretty colors and they're actually a little bit more neutral, which I like. I'm really excited. My friend, I was talking to her kind of recently and I was telling her about this paint and she went ahead and tried it and she texted me, she was like, it's amazing, I love it. So I'm going to try it because I don't want to paint the built-in desk area around the corner with a paint that like doesn't work well. I know that Beyond Paint works great, so I want to double check this before I paint cabinets that's not in my own home. I don't own this home, I'm renting, and so I did get permission, so I'm not just like going rogue. Anyway, okay, so the two colors that I did get was Bone, which is this really light off-white color. And then I also got Almond, and I'm actually thinking I kind of like Almond. So I did get the two just because I feel like those will be good, but honestly, like there's so many good ones. I believe this is the same kind of paint as Beyond Paint, though it doesn't seem or doesn't sound as thick. Like Beyond Paint is very, 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 very thick, which is nice because then you don't need a lot of coats. So I'm really curious just to see like how this is gonna turn out. But it does follow the same premise, at least the promises that they give you, is that you don't have to sand, you don't have to strip anything, you just clean up your piece, of course, and then you paint. And it has a really good primer in it, and like Beyond Paint has kept up so well. It has it's like self-leveling paint as well, so it gives like a professional finish. It just looks so good. But what we are going to do first is give this a really good wipe down and kind of clean it off, make sure there's no dust, no dirt, nothing like that, so that we have a good surface to start painting.
So vague, and I hate it. I hate it the way that you say that you.
All right, I decided to change and not play the risky game of trying not to get paint on my clothes. So now we can go ahead and start painting. Just to make it a little easier, I'm gonna put paper plates under the legs so that I can get a good coverage under there and not have to deal with the drop cloth getting in the way. Now, there wasn't like super specific directions that I saw, at least, that Beyond Paint has. They say to stipple everything, meaning like press your brush into the crevices and then roll everything else. I didn't really see that on the Heirloom Traditions. So I'm just gonna kind of do the same technique and see how it works. Since this was only $8, if it doesn't work great, I can always redo it. But then like I'm not out a bunch of money anyway. Actually, I'm just gonna try brushing instead of stippling because I don't love to stipple. We'll see how that goes.
It's just you and mine. So much space, and I won't try to save it. It's fine when I'm stuck in my mind. I can't leave it behind. I know I said I wouldn't call, but I miss you. Do you miss me too? Maybe I could let it go. I won't miss you, won't miss you. I won't miss you, won't miss you. Can't erase, and I need to replace it. You say that we'll talk when there's time, just to push it aside. And I hate it. Don't you hate it? I know I said I wouldn't call, but I miss you.
So overall, I really feel like I like this paint quite a lot. I'll kind of talk about it a little bit later, but it is a little bit thinner, so you did need a few more coats. However, I love the paint color selection. That was really pretty. And also will say, This one was like maybe 4 or 5 down the list, and I did feel like it was still very, very light. So I think I would actually go a little bit darker if I could redo this, which, you know, I obviously can repaint, so we'll see. But I also will say something similar to this in Beyond Paint is the first coat is looking scary. The first coat does not give good coverage, but it's more of like a base. And then the second coat is kind of like more of that magic coat. But with this one, you do need at least a third coat and then kind of go from there. But I'm a fan so far.
I miss you. Do you miss me too? Maybe I can let it go. I won't miss you. Won't miss you.
Okay, it looks like this also has like the second magical coat of paint, because look at how good that goes on.
Heads or tails, taking chances, don't look back, wishing wells, hope for something, hold my breath, you're something else, worth the wait, and here at last, over the moon and above the stars, you got my heart, you got my heart, hey! Here we go, it's now or never, take me home. Let's go together, look out below, 'cause I'm falling for you.
Okay, it's a new day, and what I did, sorry, it ended up getting like kind of late and dark, so I did finish the furniture piece. I ended up painting all of that. It honestly felt very much like Beyond Paint. However, it was thinner. It maybe needed a little bit more coats. Like usually I can do like 2 coats Beyond Paint and then I do a third just for extra, and I feel like I definitely needed the third on that one. So there is more coats, but otherwise it was kind of the same, and so far I like it. Now this is the drawer. I'm kind of thinking of doing like a 2-tone, because especially after I looked, I'm like, wow, that paint color is very close to the wall color, and so we'll see if I repaint it like a darker tone. But I wanted to do that one because that's like kind of like an off-white that I want be interested in doing the cabinet. So anyway, that's what we went with that. I actually painted right here with spray paint, just gold spray paint, and I'm going to sand down this to raw wood just to be a little bit more neutral. This is what I'm going to do with the built-in desk area, and so I wanted to kind of like tie that in because it'll actually be right there. Wow, the birds are having a party. Anyway, so that's what I'm gonna do real quick. Just go ahead and sand this down. We'll see how it goes. If it doesn't go good, then it's fine. You just paint it. So experiment and then have paint be your backup if that's your jam. But I'm gonna do as I always do. We're starting with some 60 grit. This is the intense stuff, like very, very scratchy. This is gonna take off the finish, like all of it. And then the 220 can make it buttery smooth, like so soft and smooth. And then we'll be good. If you want, you can do a poly on it to do a protectant. A lot of times I don't. And also just to note, if you're new to sanding, sandpaper, I think it goes all the way down to 40. I think that's the lowest I've ever seen. I have seen it go all the way up to 400, and that stuff is like crazy smooth, but I usually only ever need to go to 220. So 60 and 220 are my go-tos.
Here we go. It's now or never, take me home. Let's go together, look out below.
Okay, so this one's done with a 60, but I'm still gonna have to go in with the 220. But I think it's actually gonna look really nice.
It's now or never, take me home. Let's go together, look out below. 'Cause I'm falling for you.
So now we're switching to the 220. Very soft and smooth.
Touch the sky, love the rush. You and me, it's do or die, up and up. Never ending kinda high. I'm in it for life. Over the moon and above the stars. You got my heart, you got my heart. Here we go. It's now or never, take me home. Let's go together, look out below. 'Cause I'm falling for you. Geronimo. It's now or never, take me home.
Okay, I think they're all done. I do want to just do like a quick little like spritz of the gold spray paint on the areas that I just had to go over a little, but I'll just use a paper to kind of like cover it up. and then that should be good, but it's like half wet and half not right now, so it looks splotchy, but I think it's gonna look really pretty. Look how pretty that is. And the gold is just like super subtle, but then I didn't have to sand all in here, and it'll look really nice.
It's now or never, take me home. Let's go together, look out below.
Okay, the one thing I will say is, yes, the two drawers have a little bit different of a tone, so I might end up adding a paint wash to them. However, the tones are not as drastically different as it shows up in camera, so I don't know, we'll see. I do really love the raw wood, and it kind of matches the dresser that I have as my TV stand in the living room. Overall, I really love it. I love the paint, I love the raw wood look. I just think it came out so pretty, and especially for $8, like, you cannot beat that. That's wild. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you enjoyed all of the decluttering and organizing motivation, and of course the DIY makeover prep. But if you have not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit that button, join the family, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!